Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Matt Gear and this is Matt Gear TV. Thanks for tuning in. Today I have got the second part. Didn't think it was going to be that loud. Today I've got the second part of the lessons that I've been putting up on theory, specifically chord theory. Now, if you've not seen the previous lesson, it's probably worthwhile you checking it out, because otherwise some of the stuff that I'm talking about now might not make complete sense to you. So if you've not done that, if you click here somewhere, you can go and watch that vid and then come back and watch this one. It'll make a lot more sense. For those of you who have seen the last one, thanks for watching that. What I'm going to do is a very quick recap. Basically, we were working on the major scale, because what we're talking about in Western music really is the major scale. Everything relates back to that. So when we talk about a minor third or a sharp 9 or dominant 7 or whatever it is, all the chords, all the scales, everything really relates back to the major scale. So that's our starting point and everything comes from that. Now, what we looked at last time was we went through each of the intervals. And I played them for you so you could hear what they sound like. Now what we're going to do today is a little bit of a recap of that, but with one main difference, which is going to help you learn these intervals. And the difference is that you're going to sing them, and I'm going to sing them as well. So I apologise if my singing voice is a little bit out of whack. Now you might be thinking, well, do you know what, Matt, I'm a guitar player. I'm not a singer. I've got another guy who does my singing for me, or a girl, or whatever. I'm just happy to stand by the side of the stage and play my guitar. Or why do I need to sing? I'm a guitarist. Well, here's the reason. The singing of the scale and the singing of the intervals will, one, help you learn them, but it helps your ear recognise the particular intervals, because this is what it's all about. We're talking about theory, but we're talking about aural training, ear training at the same time. And as I said before in a previous lesson, the most important thing for you as a musician is to have a good ear. It doesn't matter how good your technique is. If you haven't got a good ear and you can't listen to stuff, you can't tell whether you're in time, sharp, flat, whatever. You're going to be lost. So this is a great way of training your ear. Another benefit of this, when you have trained your ear, when you're trying to learn stuff, if you'll listen to songs on the radio, online, whatever, if you're trying to learn a melody, trying to learn chord progression, it becomes easier to do that, because if you hear, you might not know what those notes are, but actually by training the intervals, you go, okay, that's a perfect fifth, that's a minor sixth, minor 7, and there's the octave. La, 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 la. And one of the other benefits that you'll get is by learning these intervals and singing them out loud, you're actually connecting this loop, which is what your fingers are doing, creating a sound, sounds in your head that you hear coming from that, but also sounds that you can sing yourself. So if you're out and about, you're humming a tune, get a great idea at school, on the way to work, in the shower, wherever you are, and you go, oh, that's a nice little tune that I've just hummed to myself. That's a great idea for a riff or for a lick or whatever it is. It'll be easier for you to remember, because you go, right, where am I starting? Okay, I'm humming it in my head. That's a perfect fifth. I think that's a fourth. Yeah, there's a major seventh there as well. Okay, it makes it easier for you to remember, and also easier for you to learn stuff that you hear. So if it's a solo or song on the radio, online, whatever that you hear, and you think, I want to learn that, by learning the intervals and what they sound like and embedding that in your ear, in your head, make it much easier for you to learn those things. So here's the approach that we're going to take, and this is kind of me showing you stuff for you to take away and do yourself. So if you just watch this video and go, okay Matt, yeah, I've got to sing, and go away and forget about it, it's not going to do you any good at all. You've got to take this stuff away and practice it yourself, and do it on a regular basis. 5 minutes every day, just going through the major scale, and we're just talking about the major scale for now. You can do it on the minor scale, you can do it on the modes as well. Don't forget, there's only sort of 12 intervals that we've got all in all, so you can work your way through them chromatically if you like. Take it away, do it yourself, And what you'll find is quite quickly you'll become very familiar with the sound of these intervals. And also, second part I'm going to talk about today is the shape. Okay, so we'll get to that in a minute, but let's just go through this really slowly to start off with, and I'm going to show you what I mean by singing and playing. If you're embarrassed, if you're shy about singing, don't worry about that. You know, if you've got, maybe wait till your friends have gone out, your parents have gone out, or lock yourself in your room and just hum. If you don't want to sing, hum. It's just a way of you identifying a sound in your head as much as anything, and translating that into something that you play on the fretboard. Okay, so it's not just my fingers move, sound comes out. It's I've got a sound that I want to come out. I can translate that into something that my hands have to do to make that come out and make that real on the guitar. Okay, right. So we're going back to the major scale. I'm going to keep everything in A. And just to recap, this is what the A major scale sounds like. So there's an A, La, okay? I can sing, but if you can't sing that low or that high, you can put it out the octave. La, La. Doesn't matter if you can't sing particularly well, I'm not warmed up, doesn't bother me. It's a case of if you can hit the note, that's what you want to be able to do. Now, I'm actually going to put this up. La, that's a little bit better for me. So I'm going to start on B for a change. La. Now, La. To start off with, just going to sing the major scale whilst I play. So that's the major scale as it is with me playing it. Now I'm going to sing along at the same time. La 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 la. This is, again, don't remember, it's not just you watching me going, you've lost the plot, Matt. Go and do this yourself. Really, really important. So write these things down if you want, remember what you need to do. But after you've finished watching the video, sit down, major scale, then sing as you play. Now what you can do, once you've done that a few times, you've kind of got your voice warmed up, got your hands up, warmed up a little bit. Start here. La, la, la. La, 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 la. And you can basically lead by singing. So we're actually starting on the root note, the 1. I'm now going to sing, what's the next note going to sound like? What's the 2 sound like from there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to the roots. And by doing that, la, da, 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 what I'm gradually trying to aim for in time is going, okay, there's a 1. Now what does a 5 sound like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, da, da. There's my perfect fit. Da, da. Now I know if I play la, la, there's my root, and if I go to an octave, la, da, 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 da. And what I'm doing, this might sound a little bit strange, but I'm getting away from fretboard positions and I'm thinking about sounds instead. Now, if that sounds a bit weird or a bit esoteric, bear with me, because from a soloing point of view, you know, just sort of stepping away from this, from a soloing and improvisation point of view, one of the things that you'll probably find as a guitarist, and it's for all guitarists, it's a trap that's very easy to fall into, is that once you've learned a few scale shapes, if you're improvising or soloing, if you've got a scale shape that fits, it's very easy just to chuck your fingers at the fretboard, and as long as you're playing the notes from that scale or that shape, you're not going to be too far wrong. Now, it might not sound particularly musical, but you know, you're playing the right notes to fit with the chord that you're playing. Now, that's not really a great way to go because it's not, technically speaking, particularly musical. You know, all you're doing, if I, pentatonic minor, now I can do that because I know, and if I'm playing over a 1, I don't really know what I'm playing because I'm just waggling my fingers around. What you want to be able to do is get to the point that you go, okay, And you can actually, you're vocalizing with the guitar because you're not just playing finger positions, you're playing notes. And again, it might sound like a subtle difference, but you know, that's a note. It just so happens that it's played by putting my finger on the 5th fret of a particular string on the guitar. It's a note, it has a musical. The people who are listening to it don't care that it's, you know, 5th fret on the G string. They really don't. It's a note. So by converting and by singing along with the scales, you're kind of on the road to that mentality, to changing your mentality in terms of how you play and the notes that you're playing. So that was kind of a long sort of sidebar actually, so I'm just going to go back to this again. So I'm in B, and what I'm doing is la 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 la, playing along with a scale. Once I've done that, what we're going to do is pick an interval one at a time. So the first one's easy because it's the first thing that we sing in the scale. 1. Now I'm going to try and sing the 2. 1, 2, and then check that I'm right. So from the root note, and it can be whatever root note you want. La, la. Now I'm going to go da to 3. Da, da. Okay, check that I'm right. It's 3. 1 to 4. La 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 la. Now 1 to 5. La 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 la. Now if you get it wrong, doesn't matter. If you're struggling with this, you can sing and play the interval at the same time. So la 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 la. Then try and sing before you play la la, and then check that you're right. Because that way what you're doing is you're building up la, this memory of what the interval sounds like. La, 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 la. And some of them are quite difficult. Major 6th, la, 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 la. That's quite a difficult one. La, ba, ba. Major 7, la, da, ba. Octave. La. So take that away and try that. Sing the scale first of all, la 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 la, up and down, and then focus on the individual intervals. So 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, 6, major 7, 8. And what you're doing is starting to build up, like I said, an aural representation of the sounds rather than just its fingers on the fretboard. And that is really, really going to help. And if you're listening to something on the radio, like I said, you hear a song, try and sing along, try and hum along. And what you'll find is actually you're homing in on the notes that are coming at you. Because when you listen to music, you go to a gig, you watch stuff online, listen to stuff, you're not thinking, oh yeah, that's Mixolydian, or oh yeah, that's an E major chord to an A minor chord. You're just listening to the sound. And what we're trying to do is get to the point that actually when you're playing, you're thinking about the sound rather than I'm in Mixolydian now, or I'm playing a major fifth, major third, or I'm playing a perfect fifth. It's about the sound, it's about the music. So there we go. I think that's probably enough for today. Try this all yourself. Try this, if you can build this into your daily routine, just 5 minutes a day when you're warming up, because it's all major scale, and we're only going 1 octave as well. Once you've sort of got these sounds on, you can go further than 1 octave. La, 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 there's a 9th, and you can work your way around 9th, 10th, 11th, and just keep going. Pick a key that works for you, so that you can actually comfortably sing the lowest note and the highest note. If that's too high, you can go down there, you can go up here, doesn't matter. But work on this, and I promise you, if you do this for just 5 minutes a day, in the course of a couple of weeks, you'll actually be in a much, much better place and much more able to figure out what intervals are when you hear them, and also figure out what you want to do when you're playing a solo. So that's that as far as the singing goes. The one other thing that I was going to talk about very, very quickly was the shape of these individual intervals. Now, one thing that's important about intervals is that each interval has its own sound, its own quality, and it has that quality whatever the notes that you're playing are. Now, what I mean by that is if I play a major third here with the root note of the G, that's a major third. If I play it up here, starting on C sharp, that's a major third as well. It still has the same sound quality. They may be different notes that I'm playing, but it's still a major third. It's still a major third because it's the distance between the two notes that you're playing. That's a major third, that's a major third, that's a major third. That isn't a major third, it doesn't sound like a major third. That doesn't sound like a major third. That sounds like a major third. That's what they sound like. They have a characteristic to them. So I said earlier I was going to talk about the shapes of these particular intervals, but to be honest with you, I think I've probably given you enough information today to keep you busy for a while. So I'm going to save that for another lesson and sign off in a minute. But until the next time, what you should do is, if you can, try and work this into your practice routine. Just do 5-10 minutes a day. Play the major scale. Make sure you can play that right, just one octave, starting on the low E string, up and down. And once you've done that, then start singing along with it, nice and slowly. Pick a key that you can sing in, and then intervals. And try and play them first and try and sing the interval, and then try and sing the next note in the interval without playing, and then check if you're correct. And what you'll do, like I said, fairly quickly, you'll build up a memory of what these things sound like. So that's all for today. I hope you've enjoyed it and not found it too strange. I know some of you will probably find it a little bizarre that I'm asking you to sing for what is ostensibly a guitar lesson, but bear with it, seriously, give it a try, and within too long you'll be finding it really, really useful. You'll be finding that actually when you play stuff, even if it's just simple chord progressions, you can actually hear and interpret what you're playing a lot better than you could before. Keep your eyes out for the next theory lesson. I'll talk about the shapes of the intervals, and then we'll start going into some more detail in terms of chord theory. But until next time, I've been Matt Gear, this has been Matt Gear TV. You guys take it easy, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.